Hi, Steve Ashburn with NBA.com. Klay Thompson was talking a little while ago about being in school, being at Staples Center when the Celtics and the Lakers, the KG, Paul Pierce, Ray Allen Celtics were going against Kobe and such. Do you have any memories of this particular Golden State team? I mean, they started getting good in 2014, 2015, and do you remember them from that time for you?
Absolutely. I remember exactly where I was when LeBron blocked a shot. I remember exactly where I was where the Warriors won it for the first time. I was in college, and I remember watching the game, and I was going for the Warriors then back in the day because I'm a Draymond guy. And that was a fun moment for me because my teammates were all going for Bron, like Admiral Schofield, who plays for Magic. All these guys were betting on the Cavs. And when they beat them, I talked so much trash for a week. And to be able to, it's kind of funny to come into this arena in the Chase Center and play against a team that's still together with the success that they've had. And you acknowledge that, but at the same time, I'm not a fan anymore. It's one of those things where you're just excited to compete against those guys and hopefully create those memories for some college kids that are coming up and high school kids where they can say that you were in the moment where you guys trumped the quote super team dynasty of the Warriors.
First row, first seat.
Grant, when you look back at December, from the outside, it looked really bad. Did it feel bad on the inside the way you guys were playing, and what in your mind was the reason you kind of pulled yourself out of it?
Yeah, for us, honestly, we never, I feel like, worried or got discombobulated about it all because at the end of the day, we knew some of those wins, most of them we had big leads in, and we had success with one another. We just didn't have consistency. So our biggest thing was challenging each other, one another, to stay together and stay the course and understand that there's a lot more to be played for. And at the beginning of the season, like, you have this record now, but it's not what this record's going to be at the end. So I feel like it brought us a little bit more together. And when everyone was talking about breaking the Jays up or can this team stay together, does Brad do this, does Ime do that, like, for us it was just a matter of sticking with one another, understanding that we're the team that dictates our own future, you know?
Third row.
Ime's defense is a lot different than Brad's defense. Did that have anything to do with the early season struggles, kind of figuring out a new defensive system?
Yeah, well, it was a little different because we do a lot more switch-heavy concepts here versus Brad had a little bit of that. It was kind of our secondary versus our primary. So, yeah, it was definitely something that we had to get used to. But as the time went on, it proved to be effective and it proved that we had success. So we've understood our base coverages and all the things that we can change and adapt to, and it allows us to not only have success because we were a great defense team with Brad, but I feel like we're a lead even more with Ime too.
Third row on the right.
Yeah, with the way that Steph and Jordan Poole and Klay, they run off the ball, is that a different beast in the 7-game series? Just all that off-ball, constant, 24 per second, attention you got to pay to them? Yeah,
they're unlike any other team. We've been through a team of great isolation players. We've been through a team that has a dominant man that can then play any position and guard any position. And we played a team that is the most physical and grueling versus this team. I feel like has that physical nature, but they're a lot more able to make shots. They're a lot more movement, a lot more chasing. And I feel like our team's built for that. We're built for not only that, but also the physical nature. So chasing those guys like Steph, Klay, Jordan, we know exactly how much they move off the ball. They're just as much of a threat on the ball as they are off. So you have to take priority and understand what you want to take away from them, but also what you want to accomplish as a defense.
First row in the middle.
Oh, good. Thank you.
I'll be a team player.
Thank you.
Grant, I'm curious. Ime entered this league on a 10-day contract. He had to work for his place in this league, and then grinded his way up as an assistant. How does that show up in the way that he coaches you guys, knowing like the kind of role player he was and stuff like that?
The intensity that he brings, the tenacity, the kind of the edge, I would say, he brings to not only just the games that we play, but anything he does. When you think of Ime, you think of the ultimate competitor in the sense of he's going to challenge you for soft, he's going to try and bait you into stuff, he's going to continue to bring that edge and be mad at you if you're not bringing it yourself. So at all times, I feel like he's on go and ready to compete or ready to go at it with somebody. So I feel like that's what allows not only us to have that same match of intensity, that same energy and feeling, because he's done a phenomenal job from the day he stepped into this league as a player. And imagine now going to Pop, going through the lineage of Steve, Coach Nash, and all those guys. So he's one of those guys you really are thankful to just be around because he brings that edge.
Was that jarring, that change? I mean, like, Brad's a little more laid back. I think sometimes, like, he's still intense, don't get me wrong, but, like, was that a big adjustment for you guys?
Not for me, I feel like. I love that. Like, I had Coach Barnes back in college. Like, he was that all the time. So I feel like Brad, he does a phenomenal job, especially X's and O's and personality. He's very much so a less so confrontational guy compared to Ime. So maybe for other guys, it might have caught him off guard, but it kind of refreshing for me because it was like, oh, it takes me back to my college days where Coach Barnes would challenge me and throw me off to the side of the court to run, even though I didn't do anything wrong. So it was definitely exciting to have him around.
Third row in the middle.
Hey, Grant, two questions here. First question, you talked a little bit about just seeing Golden State back when they beat Cleveland and how you're feeling about that. There seems to be parallels to what you guys have been able to do this season and just kind of how your growth as an organization, as a franchise, has gone in comparison to what they did. When you watch them play back then and you're playing with the Celtics now, do you see similarities between you two teams?
Yeah, I look back to that team when they first won it, and I think it was 2014 or 15 or something like that. And Draymond was in his third year. Steph was in his, I think, fifth, and it's kind of weird where it's like, dang, JT's I think in his fifth year. I'm in my third. Like it's kind of you have that guy that has been leading them, like Al and everything like that. So it's definitely kind of like where you're like, wow, this is kind of weird. But at the same time, it's not weird if you don't accomplish it, if you don't have success, if you don't establish that for yourselves and create your own legacy. So for us, this is about enjoying this moment, but also not looking too far ahead because you still have to go through a team that's not only had this experience over the past 8 years, but also play against a team that has been together and you want to come together even more as a team.
And you guys, just one quick follow. You guys, again, as you pointed out, there are some similarities. For them, that was kind of the genesis of this run that they're on. And how much hope does that give you going into this finals that you also can kind of get that thing started? Because, again, they didn't have a lot of experience prior to that moment, similar to where you guys are right now.
Yeah, Brad did a phenomenal job and Danny, thinking back to Danny, and of constructing this team. Guys not only in the same age range, but also that have a lot of impact in the ways they play, can adapt to one another, great people. And I feel like that's kind of what Bob and those guys did with the Golden State of the past. And it's what we kind of build for the future. It's something that we're all in that same track where we can stay together for years to come and have success. And as long as we do our jobs and trust one another and commit to one another, I feel like we will.
One more question on the left.
Grant, you guys have been the best defensive team this year in the NBA, but considering how many weapons that Golden State has right now, and without trying to get in a strategy with you, do you think it'd be detrimental to your team if you guys just try to focus only on one player that the Warriors have tonight, or in the series, sorry?
Yeah, I feel like with them, when a team does that, it opens up so much more. Because when you focus on one person with the Warriors, it allows guys like Draymond and those guys playing the seams to get easy lobs, easy kick-out threes. And if you're so consumed and worried about one, then you're not worried about the others. So the benefit of this team and how versatile they are offensively, it helps us because I feel like if you're able to switch or if you're able to do your things and do your job to keep them in front of you, you're forcing them to more isolation basketball, which is something I feel like they don't really want to do much, and over the years they haven't wanted to do. So for us, it's just a matter of making sure that we do our jobs as a collective, as a group, and not becoming too focused on if a guy makes a deep 28-foot or 30-foot three and gets hot, because sometimes you just can't control those things. If they make those and they beat you, like you have to nod your head, tip your cap, but at the end of the day, you just don't want anything easy.
Thanks a lot, Grant.
Thank you.